no matter what happens between now and the February 5th NBA trade deadline, you can be sure that the Knicks are going to be aggressive in pursuing Giannis Antetokounmpo in a trade from the Milwaukee Bucks. Maybe they find out at some point that it's impossible, but they're certainly going to try behind the scenes to see where they can end up in this Giannis sweepstakes. If the Bucks want draft compensation, that's going to be tough for the Knicks. Remember, they traded several first rounders for Mikal Bridges, traded one for Karl Towns, so they don't have much left in the bank right now in terms of draft picks. But if you waited until the offseason, the Knicks could trade as many as 2 first-rounders outright. And now I think that there's going to be a lot of competition with teams with better draft compensation to offer Milwaukee. And I think Miami is going to be right there with the Knicks and with whoever else in on Giannis. The Heat, I think, are well-positioned on Giannis. I think they're going to be aggressive as well. And they have, I believe, 2 first-rounders to offer at the moment. If you get into the offseason, that increases to 4. So if it comes down to draft compensation, it's going to be difficult for the Knicks. But remember, Giannis Antetokounmpo stating privately that he wanted to play in New York as recently as this past offseason. And part of the reason he wanted to come here, I was told, was that he was enticed by the idea of winning a title in New York, something the Knicks haven't done since 1973. So with all that at play, you can be sure, again, Knicks are going to exhaust almost all avenues available to try to get Giannis. Whether they get to the finish line remains to be seen.
We are now joined by Sal Licata and John Jastremski for more on the Giannis sweepstakes. And as we just heard Ian say, the Knicks don't exactly have the draft capital now that the Bucks will want. So, JJ, how much should the Knicks gut their core to try to get Giannis?
You know, I've toyed with this quite a bit throughout the course of this year because at first the Giannis rumors come out. My initial reaction is get him, do whatever it takes. Then it looks like the Knicks are playing some really inspired basketball November into December. And I'm like, do you keep the core? Do you just try to win with this group? At the end of the day, I can't say no to that guy. He's too good. He's too special a player, despite some of the injury concerns you have. My bigger concern is how you work out the flexibility and the maneuverability to go and make a Giannis trade happen within the next week. But, Sal, to me, the resume speaks for itself. You have to ask yourself in your heart of hearts, is this Knicks group, as is, going to be able to win an NBA championship? Not just get through the Eastern Conference. Can they beat OKC? Can they beat Denver when Jokic gets back? I don't think they can. I think with Giannis, it gives you a much better shot. Therefore, you got to do it.
Yeah, I'm not getting sucked in anymore. And I understand what you're saying. I mean, there was thought with Julius Randle when they traded for Anunoby that they should keep that team together as opposed to breaking it up and trading for Karl Anthony Towns. I understand why they did that at the time. I've seen enough. I saw enough last year knowing that Towns and Brunson together will never win an NBA championship. So I don't care who has to go outside of Brunson himself. You got to take the chance because I know definitively this team ain't it. Are there certain guys that prefer to keep than others? Of course, but it's Giannis. Figure it out later. Go get him, pair him with Brunson, and that would be your best chance to go win a championship.
All right, so Sal, you want to make the deal. Now, there's plenty of uncertainty in the East, so how does that impact the urgency to make the deal within the next week or waiting for the offseason?
I mean, look, do you want to win a championship now and take your best run at it? If they can get him now, I'm doing it now. I'm not wasting any time because anything less than a championship, it's going to be a bust here. This is about a championship. Giannis gets them closer to a championship now. So the reason why I wait for the offseason is if they couldn't get a deal done now, then you have no choice but to hope that your offer is better come the offseason with the picks, whatever it may be. But I'm doing it now, JJ.
So I totally get that. And I think from a roster standpoint, it probably makes more sense doing it in the offseason. But here's the problem. If Giannis says, I want out now, I want to be gone by the trade deadline, you don't have much of a choice if you're the Knicks because he could end up in Houston or Golden State or Miami, wherever it might be. If Giannis says it's got to happen right here, right now, you do everything in your power to make the move.